नमस्कार. आयच्या डिबेटात तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. विशय सादो आहा तो म्हळ्यार चर्च ओपनली सारकी एंटी CAA एजिटेशनाक फुडें सरल्या. एक रॅली जाली, दुसरी रॅली जाता आनी जेन्ना एक धर्मसंस्था इतले एग्रेसिवली मुखार सरता तेन्ना ज्या एजिटेशनाक सामकें सेक्युलर एजिटेशन म्हळें तें एजिटेशन कम्युनल जाता काय तें सेक्युलर एजिटेशन चड स्ट्रॉंग जाता हाजेर आमी भासाभास करतात. 3 मानेस्त आसा म्हजे बरोबर. पयली आसात गोंयांतले नामनेचे आदवोगाद आनी राजकीय विश्लेशक राधाबाब स्वागत. दुसरे आसात म्हजे बरोबर काँग्रेसीचे स्पोक्सपर्सन राजनबाब डिमेलो स्वागत. आनी तिसरे आसात म्हजे बरोबर भारतीय जनता पक्षाचे ज्येष्ठ फुडारी दामू नायक स्वागत. हांव राधाबाब तुमचे कडच्यान सुरवात करता. कितें दिसता वेदर चर्च पार्टिसिपेटींग सो एग्रेसिवली मेक्स दिस secular agitation communal or strengthens the secularism and the values of that agitation?
See, the whole trouble is if we have to go strictly by all religions keeping out of politics, then Yogi Adityanath should not have been Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. When you have a political party getting a Mahant of a temple as a Chief Minister, I don't think that party has any right to tell other religions that they cannot actively participate in politics. Now, besides, you see, you can directly participate in politics, or you can form a frontal organization which ostensibly is secular and independent, but which reflects the religious viewpoint of a particular community, and that is RSS. So, for all purposes, RSS is a front of the BJP. It indulges in all sorts of activities. And I therefore think that all other religions, whether it is Christians or Muslims, must also have the same freedom to express views on political things, just as Yogi Adityanath does in Uttar Pradesh or the RSS does elsewhere. Maybe the church will have to organize a frontal organization, something akin to the RSS, and say, no, we have nothing to do with them. They are independent.
Like CSGP?
No, this CSGP, whatever, is actually, we know it is part of the church, headed by a priest.
Okay.
So, whereas RSS, they all the time say, we have nothing to do with Hinduism, we have nothing to do with religion, but everybody knows where they are heading. So, I think a lesson for the church is you form your own frontal organization.
You feel that church needs to do more?
No, not more. In the light of the present political scenario, where if the church says something, fingers are pointed at you. But if the others do it in different names, if you have a Mahant as a chief minister, no questions are raised. So how is this possible? So I would actually explain later, in this present context, I would have preferred the church to do something differently. That is my preference.
Okay, they will come to what differently later.
Yes, yes.
Rajan Bab?
See, church interfering and therefore polarizing the minority, that was what I was told, is absolutely wrong, first of all. Because people of all faiths throughout the nation have already come together, we call it polarized together, against this act which is actually spreading poison and creating hatred among various sections of the people. Now, you say church intervened. In Goa, this very organization has taken up various issues of which this very Bharatiya Janata Party has benefited. In 2012, when the great agitation took place on the TCP, on the regional plan, the entire benefit went to the ruling, then opposition, when BJP came into power. Now, the church in this particular case, there are many who say that the church has come forward too late. Normally, they spearhead. It is now where the fire has already caught up. And very important is to say that when the Christian community is being assured and reassured that nothing will happen to them, it is only to the Muslims. And when it is a known situation that the Muslims throughout the world persecute the Christians, yet the church stood out for what is truth. They followed the principles what they preach. Love thy neighbor. Love those who persecute you. When they saw that a particular religion is being targeted, that the after effects would come to everybody, that's another part of the whole story. But they did not immediately jump in the bandwagon.
You are saying too late but not too little.
Not too little. They have stood out to say that we will stand up. Okay. Though it is all the time projecting that it is not affecting the Christian community, They said, though it is a Muslim, injustice to them, which the church preaches, has put it into practice, that we stand by.
ओके. भारतीय जनता पक्ष कसं पाहता या गजालीकडे?
See, there is a vertical line between educated and literate. The educated कोण आसा ताका हें सांगपाची गरज ना. Literate कोण आसा पळय न्ही ताका 10 फावटी सांगचें पडटा. Though he thinks himself he is a literate, but he is not educated. In CA matter, no one is that much updated or given that the whole story. म्हणजे कित्याक लागून जाला, केन्ना जाला, what is the motive behind it and all. कोण तरी पॉलिटिकल आपले मायलेजीक लागून तांकां कोणाक भायर काडटा आनी गोरवां भशेन आमडटान व्हरता. वेन यू पीपल आस्क देम देन दे से आय डोंट नो, म्हाका आपयलें म्हण थंय आयला. आनी दीस इज स्टोरी दॅट इज गेटींग व्हायरल ऑन एवरी सोशल मिडिया एंड ऑल. पयली गजाल म्हटल्यार जेन्ना हो प्रश्न चर्चीचे रिलेटेड आसा काय ना हो पयली चिंतपाक जाय. इफ इट इज बींग फॉर अ पब्लीक लार्ज म्हणजे गोंयचे कोणा जर आसा जाल्यार आमकां पयलीं समजपाक जाय की वॉट इज द सिटीजनशीप. CA जो पळय विशय आसा तो पयलीं CA बी आशिल्लो, हातून पार्लिमेंटान तो हातून पास जाल्लो आसा. समबडी ऑल्सो चॅलेंज्ड इन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट, दॅट ऑल्सो थ्रोन आउट, म्हणजे त्या हाजेर क्लियर आहे. तरी आसतना जो विशय ताजे पयलीं मॅनिफेस्टोन आशिल्लो लोकांनी क्लियर कट पळयला, तो मॅनिफेस्टोनी दिल्लो क्लियर आसा, तोच विशय लोकां फुडें गेला. तर BJPन खंयची तरी हिडन एजेंडा खंयचो तरी आडूकूच ना. आनी बरें तो हिडन आशिल्लो जाल्यार एक बोवाळ करपाक जातालो. आनी तूं जर इफ आर गोईंग टू प्लेस ऑन द फ्लोर ऑफ द हावस आनी जाल्यार तेन्ना बाबा तूं स्टॉप करपाक जातालो. इट इज अ लॉंग स्टोरी. इन 2016 तो टेबल गेल्लो, त्या नंतर ताजेर डिबेटी जाल्ली आसा, तो मागीर थंय पास जालो ना, सिलेक्ट कमिटीकडे गेलो, 2.5 वर्सां ताजेर सामकें ताजेर चर्चा चर्वण जालें. मागीर तो हाडून तो 16 जुलयाक हातून
चर्चीचो आतां जो एक्टीव रोल आयला एज्युकेशना भितर ताजेर तुमकां कितें दिसता? तुमकां हें कॉम्युनल दिसता काय तें एज्युकेशन चालू आसा तें चालू उरतलें इतल्या पुरतेंच दिसता?
कदाचित तो करपाक जाय म्हणून करता आसतले, आय डोंट नो. पण चर्चीचो रोल तातूंत आसा तसो बाय एंड लार्ज लोकांक खंय तो म्हणजे कॅथलीक लोकांक लेगीत तो फरक पडटलो असो म्हाका दिसत ना. कारण कॅथलिकांनी भितर शिक्षीत लोक आसात आनी समजोपा सारकेय लोक आसा जे हे मोठ्या प्रमाणान समजून घेतले, शिक्षण घेतले. म्हणजे आतां रायटली तशें सांगिल्लें आसा पाकिस्तानांतल्यान पर्सिक्यूट जाल्ले आसतले, रिलिजियस पर्सिक्युटेड आसतले किंवा ट्रॅफिकींग केल्ले आसतले. ह्यो सगळ्यो गजाली तांकां खबर ना. तर खबर आसा 20,000 चलयो चायनान ट्रॅफिकींग केल्यो किंवा आनी कितें ह्युमन रायट्सांत ताची दखल घेतिल्ली आसा हें तें. सो द नंबर ऑफ पॉप्युलेशन तांचें थंय आशिल्लें. दोज म्हणजे प्री इंडिपेंडन्स जे पळय थंय वचून बर्माशेल कंपनीन काम करताले, ब्रिटीश रेल्वेन काम करताले, हे जे लोक पळय थंय रावले तांकां कांय मेळूंकूच ना. आनी ह्या हातून भितर क्लॉज 2 भितर इन्सर्ट केल्लो आसा तातूंत भितर कॅटेगरीली कॅथलीकूय आसा. म्हणजे CAA तुमकां तांकां भायर दवरतले ऑर मुस्लिमां परत तशें नाच. अजुनूय ताजो भितरलो इट इज म्हणजे
म्हणटा करपाक जाय म्हूण केलां
कितें तें
चर्चीन.
म्हाका दिसता ताजेर क्लियर कट तांच्याय भितरल्यान क्लियर कट कितें हें विजन ऑर क्लियर कट ताजी आयडिया नॉलेज कितें आसतली ते ताजे फुडें पावपाची खंय तरी कमी आसा अशें म्हाका दिसता.
राधाबाब, एक गजाल दिसता की अशी जेन्ना गजाली जातात आनी जेन्ना एक एंटायर एज्युकेशन उबी जाता इज सॉर्ट ऑफ बेस्ड ऑन सेक्युलर व्हॅल्यूज. अशी परिस्थिती जेन्ना एक धर्मसंस्था तातूंत भितर इतली ओपनली पडटा, don't you think there is a danger of reverse polarization also?
See, I would like to respond to what. Yeah. See, what happens first, in the first place, it is wrong to say that the church should not get involved because the Catholics are not affected. The church is an organization which is supposed to stand up for justice irrespective of who the victims are. And to that extent, even I do that, we always stand up for the wronged person. So we see a wrong and we stand up. I don't see anything wrong with that. The church is not here to defend only the Catholics. Wherever something is seen being violative, the church has to stand up. That is the way I would look at it. Now, secondly, what happens is, you see, secularism is a concept which emerged in the West. Earlier, the religion of the ruler and the people was the same. So gradually in the West, over centuries, this concept came of separation of state from the people. And invariably in the West, the people always followed the same religion. There was no different religions in the same state. You see, invariably if you go to Europe, until now, every state religion is the same. So what they did was separate the state from the religion. But then within the religion, there were not different religions fighting each other. Sadly for us in India, what happens? We have secularism, at least we adopted Western concept, but we are not a homogeneous religious society. We have Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, all types. So this trouble starts because the majority community feels that because it has a majority, it has rammed everything down everybody else's throat. And that is what is being done. So when such a thing happens, this concept of secularism as in the West doesn't apply, because here we have different people who perceive things differently. A Christian looks from his own point of view, amka ki jatle hain. Hindu looks from this point of view. So therefore, it is in the order of things that the majority always considers the interest of the minorities. That is what secularism is. You can't say because we are majority, we are right. It is the minority that always feels persecuted, that always feels threatened. So you have to protect the interests of the minority. Now let us look at this CAA and the church's involvement. See, as far as CAA is concerned, it is a law which clearly discriminates against Muslims from Pakistan, Bangladesh, or Afghanistan. Now there was no need even to bring Afghanistan in, because it was never even part of the British Empire. As against that, you take Burma. Burma was part of British India till 1935. Now in Burma today there is persecution against Rohingya Muslims, much more than against Christians or Hindus in Pakistan. We do not pay any this to them. Let the Muslims in Burma go to hell. In Sri Lanka, there are Tamils who are largely Hindu or Christian, who we know who have been massacred. Many of them are refugees here. Now why don't you add a para there also, Tamil refugees who are here prior to 2014 December, be Hindus or Christians, that they should also be accommodated. This shows that we are discriminating on basis of religion. See, as a lawyer, I have been taking up matters all over. I represent my fellow countrymen, I represented foreigners also. The law has always been the same. When you stand in the accused box, the court never asks you, what is your, suppose he is called for an offense. He will never be asked your nationality. He will be tried and given the same sentence as if he were an Indian. You see, there is no different set of parameters to punish a foreigner from an Indian.
But now there a danger of reverse polarization?
Now, reverse polarization, in a way, yes. That is one reason why I would have preferred the church, as church, not to participate. You see, because the BJP is trying to polarize, and the church is helping them. See how people, how they are instigating. See, the whole problem is the church should have been a little more conservative. When we know there is a fire, you can put it off by throwing water or by some other method. I feel that it is going to be counterproductive because it is helping the BJP in its agenda for the polarization.
Rajan Bab, reverse polarization हातूंतल्यान जावपाक शकता काय कितें?
See, as I said from the beginning, the church, many say it's too late, but I'm still repeating, they were cautious and guarded this time because of the communal flame that was spreading throughout India. The question of reverse polarization does not come in when the agitation has already reached its peak and I come and support it. Had it like take the regional plan, had it been actually started by the social justice, which brought the whole government down and brought the friends BJP into power, then I could have understood some action would have, some effect has taken place. Here what church has said, I am again repeating, has stood by the victims, though in many countries we are persecuted by those same victims today, we are standing for the truth and that injustice should not be done, number one. Number two, what should be done in the bill? I am not on that. The bill as it is cannot be segregated from the NRC. It is just like Amit Shah and Modi cannot be segregated. If they two go apart, the whole BJP collapses. Similarly, there is no value to CA without the NRC. Secondly, NRC experience in Assam has shown how many Hindus are in the detention camp. So it is not, again, it was a very tricky way and that devious and insidious way of bringing that bill by excluding Muslims, when actually majority of the Hindus of the economically lower class will be affected with this.
रिवर्स पोलरायझेशन हातूंतल्यान जावपाक कारण राधा बाब म्हणटा हे रिव्हर्स पोलरायझेशन जर जालें जाल्यार तुमचोच अजेंडा सक्सेसफूल जातलो.
राधा बाबान सांगला पळय न्ही ते पयलीं म्हळ्यार स्ट्रॉंगली हांव कट ऑफ करता. कित्याक काय म्हणटा, गोंयान हिंदू आनी कॅथलीक हे बरे भशेन एकठांय रावतात आनी कॅथलीक बीजेपी बरोबर येवना काय ना अशें कांयच ना. हो एक्सरसायज 1994 जाला, म्हणजे विल्फ्रेड डिसोझ आसतना बीजेपीक सपोर्ट जाल्लो आसा, सार्दीन बाब आसतना सपोर्ट जाल्लो आसा, ताजे नंतर कॅथलीक एमएलएन तिकेटी घेवन बीजेपीचेरूय जिखिल्ले आसा. आतां तर 15 जाण आसा तातूंत भितर. सो भंय घालपाचो पळय जो आसा पळय न्ही, लेट मी कंप्लीट.
or this politics. I am talking of impact of CAA on the country.
ना हांव तेच
Not
उलयतां.
Goa.
आतां गोवान जे पळय जे भायर सरल्यात पळय म्हणटा न्ही ताजो इम्पॅक्ट उलयतात आमी. इंडियन इम्पॅक्टाचेर आमी आतां सद्या बसूंकूच ना हांगा. पण तरी पूण तोय विशय घेवया भितर, तातूंत व्हडलें काय ना. पण तातूंत भितर आमी सगळे एकठांयच आसात न्ही. हे सगळे पॉलिटिकल हाका लागून जर समजा जर जाता जाल्यार ताजो फायदो कोणाक जातलो, हाका जातलो ताका जातलो न्ही. ती ग्रो जायत आसा मरे 1989तले 90तले 94तले हांवें सांगलें सगळे, म्हणजे सगळे एकठांय आसा. आतां आमी 15 जाण आसा. आतां जे कोण आमचे बरोबर आयिल्ले आसा, जे कोणें हें सगळें डिटेल आयकल्लें आसा, तांकां हो विशय समजपाक लागला आनी एक्झॅक्टली कितें तो कळपाक लागला. पण उदड उलयतना बर्माचो मागीर तुजो बलुचिस्तानाचो विशय आयलो, आमचो अफगानिस्तानाचो विशय आयलो, राधाबाब म्हणटालो
श्रीलंकेचो विशय.
श्रीलंकेचो विशय आयलो. प्रत्येक विशय वेगवेगळे आसा. मिक्सअप करतना ताजेर जावपाक जाय डिबेट, ताजेर स्टडी जावपाक जाय. श्रीलंकान आशिल्ले ते सगळे तामील्स आसात पळय न्ही, ते तामिळनाडू कॅम्प्सांनी पळय रावतात. ते 1990क तेन्ना हें जाल्लें तेन्ना फ्ली जावन हांगा आयिल्ले पळय, ते हांगा राविल्ले आसात. तांचे खंय डिमांड ना. ते आतां परते वचपाचे आसात, ते परते वचपाक सोदतात. बलुचिस्तानान अफगानिस्तानाचो पळय विशय आसा तो वेगळो, तो विशय ते तांचे ओन कंट्री सोदतात. म्यानमारान आसा ती कंट्री स्वताच बुद्धिस्ट कंट्री. आनी ही जी पाकिस्तान बांगलादेश आनी हें आसा ती कॉन्स्टिट्युशनली घटनेन भितर ती तांच्यांनी इस्लामीक कंट्री म्हणून डिक्लेअर केल्ली आसा. आमी डिक्लेअर करूं ना. देशाची जेन्ना पळय फाळणी
रिव्हर्स पोलरायझेशन जावचें ना.
अजिबात ना. हातूंत भितर
आनी चर्च भितर पडले म्हूण फरकूय पडचो ना.
कांयच फरक पडचो ना. कारण हांगा सरलो पळय जो शिक्षीत घटक आसा, समजूतकाय घटक आसा, त्या घटकांक खबर आसा कितें एक्झॅक्टली. आनी तांकां कळपाक जे कळटा. म्हणजे बीजेपीचे पयलींच्यान भंय दाखयत आसात मरे. बीजेपी ते अशें जातलें तें जातलें. 1980 पासून गोंयांतल्यान कितलो आवू दाखयतालो बीजेपी ते. आतां त्या वेळाचेर मायनॉरिटी भितर भंय घालून आशिल्लो तर भंय आशिल्लो. पण त्या वेळाचेर एकटोय बीजेपीक जॉयन जायनाशिल्लो मायनॉरिटीचो. आयच्या परिस्थितीन कितें आसा? आयच्या परिस्थितीन सद्या विधानसभाय जर तुमी पळयता 50% वयर जर मॅक्झिमम ते कॅथलीक आमचे फ्रेंडली सगळे आसात.
बरें, एक जो ताणें मुद्दो काडटात, वील कम टू दीस पॉयंट लेटर, बट तो म्हळ्यार वी हॅव नॉट डन समथींग हिडन. हें आमची मॅनिफेस्टो प्रॉमीस आशिल्लें. आमी मॅनिफेस्टो प्रॉमीस फुलफील करतात. आतां मॅनिफेस्टो प्रॉमीस फुलफील केलें ना जाल्यारूय तुमकां प्रॉब्लेम, केल्यारूय प्रॉब्लेम.
See, I don't think in the manifesto it was said that Muslims would be excluded. I don't believe that. You wanted to bring in the, not even CAA, that NRC, National Register of Citizens. Now, essentially, I would feel that an NRC is required. As a country, we would need to know who our citizens are. If we had an NRC from the beginning, this problem of identifying infiltrators would not arise. So, it has to be there. But you cannot have an NRC where every citizen, 1,300 million of us, is required to prove his citizenship. I would feel that in the case of Kashmir, Pakistan, this CAA, you have cut-off date as 2014, 31st December. Now, you make a cut-off date as the electoral roll of 2014, by which your government has come to power. And you say all those who are on the electoral rolls of 2014, and their descendants, they will be deemed to be citizens, make that list. There is no need to go to everybody and wake people up and trouble them. And those who come later are out. I think that sorts out. Why do you want to, how can you come to my house and check my citizenship when I am born here, brought up here? Why should I even produce a document to you? You take the electoral roll, we have been voting here, take it, cut off 2014, your party has won there. So all those who are on the rolls are Indian citizens, make a roll. And those who are not there, but who are still citizens, give them an option of proving that we are Indian citizens. If that is done, I don't think any one of us will have a problem.
ते म्हणा मॅनिफेस्टो मॅन्डेट आमी जर क्लियर इतले आनी येदी व्हडली मॅन्डेट मेळ्ळी, आतां तें दिल्लें वचन पुराय करतात.
ना ना वचन पुराय करता आसतना वचन पुराय करात, तितून करप्शन वाडोव नाकात. आतां एन्युमरेटर जी आसतले NRC करपाक दोतोर म्हणटा एनआरसी आसूंक जाय, म्हाका पासून आसूंक जाय. पूण तो अमित शाह जी आसा तो सांगता पासपोर्ट होल वर्ल्ड रिकॉग्नाइज एज ए इंडियन सिटीजन. चलेगा, आधार कार्ड नहीं चलेगा, पैन कार्ड नहीं चलेगा, वोटिंग कार्ड नहीं चलेगा, क्या चलेगा? नाउ द एन्यूमरेटर दैट कम्स टू द हाउस, you are going to put lakhs of enumerators. You will have to put Karyakartas. And in that BJP Karyakartas will come in. They will put my citizenship in the doubtful column. Not citizen, in the doubtful column. Or I have to pay that fellow. So corruption has come to your door now. Once I am put in the doubtful, I have to run to the Mamladar's office or wherever that office is to say that I am a citizen. Get me this document. What is this exactly they are trying to do? The international beating that we have got, the top companies are withdrawing their finances from here. You cannot provide jobs. You have created a situation that nobody wants to come and create an employment over here. So where is the exact agenda of yours? What is the promise of the...
ह्यो एक गजाल दिसता की राधाबाब म्हणटा तशें गजाल क्लिश्ट करपा परस कांय गजाली वापरून सोपी करपा जातात आनी तुमचे कडेन इतली मेजॉरिटी आसा त्या मेजॉरिटीक लागून तुम्ही आनी दुसऱ्याचे कोणाचे आयकुपाकच तयार नात.
ना एक तो रॉंगली हें करतात म्हणजे कितें म्हणटात हॅमरिंग करतात. लायकवायज डॉक्युमेंटेशन पळय म्हणटा न्ही ते फाल्यां आतां म्हाका विचारलें जाल्यार म्हज्या बापायली बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट हाड म्हटल्यार हांव खंयच्यान हाडूं? तशें हिंदूच ना तर. सो वी आर ऑल्सो सफरींग न्ही.
So why do they?
हॅव यू गॉट एनी गायडलायन्स रुल्स कितें फ्रेम केल्ले आसा एनआरसी अजून हेंच जावंकूच ना.
No, you give a cut-off date, man, electoral roll.
No.
That's proof, man, of your citizenship.
पळय जो अकॉर्ड पळय जो आसामान जाल्लो आसा डोंट मिक्स विथ द एंटायर नेशन. इट इज अ प्रायम मिनिस्टर्स लास्ट वर्ड म्हणल्यार कितें अजून तो एनआरसी जावं ना लागू ना ती लागपाचे ताजे बद्दल रुल्स आसा कितें आसा आय डोंट नो. पण तें जर लागू नासतना ताजो भाऊ कित्याक करता? नंबर 1. नंबर 2 जशें काही फक्त मुस्लिमच आनी मायनॉरिटीकच विचारतले हिंदूच ना रे. आदिवासी भागांत राविल्ले हिंदूच ना. खंय खंय भितर आशिल्ले तांचे कडेन डॉक्युमेंट आसा. हांगाच वच तूं काणकोण भितरल्या भागांत बीन कारवार बिरवार थंय पळयतकीर थंय लोक राविल्ले खाशीन आसा तांचे कडेन कागदां आसतलीं. पण ह्या सगळ्यातून कितें रुल्स आसा कितें आसा लिसन हांव इंटरप्ट करूंकूच ना मदीं. तातूंत भितर हें सगळें खबर नासतना कित्याक उलयतात? आयज
म्हणटा फक्त दिशाभूल करपाचो
सगळं दिशाभूल 101%. म्हणजे हांव ताजेर कितले फावटी आय विल कीप ऑन हॅमरिंग ऑन द सेम इश्यू. दीस इज अ मिसगायडींग इज अ नॅरो टेलर लॉ जो तातूंत भितर क्लॉज पळय 2 भितर फक्त सबसेक्शन ऍड केल्ले आसा. तातूंत हे पळय धर्म घातिल्ले आसा कारण ते धर्म म्हणून मान्यता दिल्ले आसा. पण तातूंत भितर आतां एनआरसी कित्याक मिक्स करपाक जाय? एनआरसी येवकूच ना, एनआरसी लागूकूच ना.
हो जो आर्ग्युमेंट आसा
बरें एनआरसीचो आनी एक विशय आसा. एनआरसी कितें वकड म्हणजे जण काय बीजेपीन केलें तें वायट. लेट मी कंप्लीट. बीजेपीन केलें जाल्यार वायट. एनआरसी हो 1985 चो एकॉर्ड सुप्रीम कोर्टान गेले आसाम फ्रंट. सुप्रीम कोर्टान सांगलें की तो एनआरसी थंय करचो बीन म्हणून. त्या वेळाचो गव्हर्नर जो आसा त्या गव्हर्नरान सगळो रिपोर्ट दिलो त्या वेळेचे हाका प्रेसिडेंटाक आनी मागीर ताजे नंतर फुडें जालें.
ओके दादा हो जो आर्ग्युमेंट आसा की ते म्हणटात की प्रायम मिनिस्टरान क्लियर सांगला की एनआरसीचे अजून कांय ठरिल्लें ना. ना प्रायम मिनिस्टर इज द फायनल वर्ड. रुल्स फ्रेम केल्ले नात, गायडलायन्स फ्रेम केल्ले नात. अशी परिस्थिती भितर एनआरसीचो भंय दाखोवप इज नॉट एडवायजेबल अँड मायट बी मिसलिडिंग इज द आर्ग्युमेंट.
No. See, my way of looking at it is, see, as far as the NRC is concerned, I think even the Citizenship Act provides for a NRC. That's why I have said we have not done it all these years. So it isn't that it's the law which BJP has brought out from in the air. The law is there. But the trouble is the BJP's way of functioning, we know that it is oriented in a particular direction. When you start
You are saying it is BJP's orientation and not the legal orientation.
see, legally the law is there, but what is going to happen when they start enumerating citizens? Their officials will go, government servants, whoever they are. What he says, there are Adivasis, there are Hindus. You can take my word that no Hindu will be kept out of the list. Just by being Hindu, he will be put in. This will be, whereas if you are a Muslim, in particular, if you are a Muslim, that is where the fear lies, because you will try to push the Muslim.
He says Muslim will be kept out
Exactly.
and the Christian will be put in doubtful. You dance.
See, this is a misleading.
Understand this.
But he is saying
See, 1 minute.
that you are
Now you are
creating
talking.
doubt.
No, we are not
misleading.
creating. Our,
No,
our
one
thing
minute,
is based on
He
our
said-
perception
1 minute.
of what is
He's
happening
saying
in the
the Prime
BJP.
Minister has said NRC has not been thought of. The presidential address very clearly states that my government will bring in CA NPR and NRC. Why are you not discussing NRC? What will be the terms required?
अरे
Why is not being this discussed?
तेच डिस्कस जर करपाचें आसा एनआरसी लायलो
अरे लायलो म्हणजे कितें? Citizen
Citizen
NRC actually is automatic because that is already there. With the CA, the NRC becomes complicated. Why are you not putting the guideline? What is required, as Dr. has said? Put a cut off there.
तो म्हणते आता मिरन राव म्हणता
In CAA, you have put a cut-off date of 31st December 2014. All those who have entered the country before 2014, if you are Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, Sikhs, you are entitled for Indian citizenship. Put you in the CAA or in NRC also.
Make the same cut-off date.
Make not the same, whatever. I would not. I mean, my feeling is electoral roll. It's not just a date. Electoral roll, because electoral roll contains the names of all our citizens.
Which has brought these people into
So
power.
you take that into electoral roll of 2014 and say all those who are on the rolls are citizens.
And
Last-
those who are
last-
persecuted,
okay.
1 minute, those who are persecuted today will not get citizenship.
ओके दादा
So when the question of
लास्ट
persecution-
कितें सांगा जेन्ना आमी फक्त धर्माच्या आदाराचेर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन जाता ही गजाल उलयतात
Why?
तेन्ना डू यू एंडोर्स a institution like church or a institution which is Islamic institution or a Hindu institution, religious institution,
Yes.
spearheading or propagating an agitation or a movement?
See, at the optimum, no religious institution should get involved in politics, particularly in a multi-religious society like ours, where each religion suspects the other. But when the majority religion has a Mahant as a chief minister of a state, who does everything religious, you can see, how do you expect the minority religion not to come out?
Okay, it's a clear. It might be a Hindu institution, Islamic institution, or a Christian institution.
All should be out.
Do you endorse these religious institutions coming out on streets or mobilizing or agitating when the entire agitation revolves around do not discriminate?
There was
on
no
the basis of
agitation.
faith?
Don't mix up with agitation with a public meeting. A public meeting is not an agitation. It is to voice out your expression. Now you don't become a BJP bhakta also by even trying to throttle that.
No.
Now 1 minute.
I am not becoming
The-
I
the
asked
organ-
to Islamic also.
1 minute,
I
sir.
asked to Hindu
yes,
also.
Yes, and all are.
But a glaring example that I can give right now is that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they have come out and stood out for injustice. They have not started a movement. Please understand this. They have come out and shown solidarity to love those who persecute you, and they have stood for it.
Okay.
So there's no question of
So you are saying,
agitation.
You are saying the rally was for justice. It has nothing to do with any particular religion.
No.
Okay, that's the point.
Injustice, to stand up for against injustice.
तांचो मुद्दो बरोबर आहा जेन्ना एक महंत तुगे मुख्यमंत्री जाता तुम्ही ताका कॅन्डिडेट म्हणून करतात आनी निवडणुकीक घालतात तेन्ना वॉट इज युअर फ्रँक असेसमेंट खंयच्याय धर्माच्या खंयच्याय रिलिजियस इन्स्टिट्यूशनान असल्या गजाली भितर पडचे का पडचे न्ही
सी तो महंत तो रिलिजियस म्हणून पडला काय तो व्यक्ती म्हणून गेला लोकांक अधिकार आसा न्ही ताका इलेक्शनाक ओडोवपाचो काय जिखोवपाचो ते कोण करतात तोय रिलिजियस हातूनच भितर करता बटन दाबता थंय लोक आसात न्ही कित्याक मिक्स करता तें म्हाका कळना फाल्यां समजा कोणी समजा देवाचो म्हणयारो तो खंयच्याय धर्माचो आसूं तो जर फाल्यां इलेक्शनाक रावलो जाल्यार ताका आमी कोण आडोवंक शकता लोकशाही देश हो ताका जर समजा लोकांचो हें आसतलो पाठिंबो आसतलो त्या लोकांच्या खातीर कितें तरी करपाक सोदता ताणें डेफिनेटली करचें आतां तो वॉयस आवट करपाक लागून समजा जर चर्च जर भायर सरिल्ली आसा आमी खंय ताका ऑब्जेक्शन केला क्वेश्चन मार्क केला आमी कोणेच
तुमकां कांयच ऑब्जेक्शन ना
आमकां कांयच ऑब्जेक्शन ना
They are polarizing.
आमकां
They are
कांयच
taking
ऑब्जेक्शन ना
advantage
वेल्यान हांव
of it.
अजुनूय म्हणटा गोंयान कॅथलीक मुस्लीम हिंदू सगळे एकठांय रावता हांव 1994 आतां पर्यंत
रिलिजियस इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स अशी भायर सरली म्हणून तुमकां कांयच प्रॉब्लेम ना
कांयच ना
Benefited according to the
दोतोर तशें म्हणटा पण त्याच
But
बरोबर
let me tell you that what he is thinking, that it is getting polarized with Dr. is of that opinion. I don't
See,
think.
ओके यू डोंट हांव इतल्याचेर थांबता म्हाका दिसता चर्चेचो उद्देश एकूच आशिल्लो की खंयच्याय धार्मीक इन्स्टिट्यूशनान जर रस्त्यार येवन आंदोलन केलें तें चुकीचें काय बरोबर हो एक मुद्दो जालो आनी त्याच बरोबर जेन्ना सद्या ह्या देशाची आमी परिस्थिती पळयतात तेन्ना खंयच्याच परिस्थिती भितर आसा ती स्थिती आनीक वायट जावची न्ही आनी समाजा भितर आनीक दुही निर्माण जावची न्ही ह्या दृश्टींतल्यान फुडले प्रयत्न जावचे इतलोच उद्देश दवरून आमी भासाभास करताले आनी त्याच बरोबर NRC CAA हांचो संबंध आसा काय ना आनी जी परिस्थिती आसा जे एजिटेशन चल्लां तें कितले जस्टिफायड आनी तातूंतले मुद्दे कितले वॅलीड म्हाका दिसता हाजेर तिनी पॅनलिस्टांनी आपापली बाजू मांडल्या एकच गजाल सांगचीशी दिसता, गोंय शांत आसा, शांत दवरचें इतलेंच सांगता आनी थांबता. आतां तुमी आयले, इतली बरे तरेन मतां मांडली. थँक्स अ लॉट. पळयत रावात प्रुडंट. नमस्कार.